Hello and welcome back to the secret bonus mystery build that I was supposed to do at the end of my last Twitch stream. But by the end of making the 3 previous Marvel mechs, my back was starting to hurt, so I thought I'd leave this to build for another little short video like this. So I've been itching to build this because look at them claws, they're huge. Plus I wanted a Wolverine minifig, so I got this off of eBay pretty cheap. So yes, let's get my tray out and let's get into it. So 2 little bags and a medium bag. So, and obviously first we have the minifig. Right, so that's all the bags. Right, let's find out the minifig. There's his body. And there's his head. Got one of the claws. Where's the other claw? There we go, here's the other claw. There's his legs. There we go. So, there we go. Put his claws on. There we go, look at that. Excellent. Wolverine from my minifig collection. Yes. Very cool. Right, so let's put him there. And let's get into the mech build. Right. So we've got a yellow 2x4 and a black 2x4 with holes in. So one on top of the other. So that goes on there, so that'll be the bit that Wolverine sits on, like that. So, right. Right, we have 2x2 and then 2 yeah, they look like dark blue. I thought they were black. So very dark blue. So 2 of those, and then okay, So they go one either side, like that, yeah? I think that's what it's saying. So, and then is that it? There it is. So, a 2x2 but with only 2 studs on, and then the rest is tile. So that goes on the top like that, and then that goes so that goes on like that, yeah, okay. And then what's these bits then? So they go underneath like that. Yeah, yep. And then right, so we've got that, and then a blue cheese wedge. So I think that's telling us to do that. Yep, and then we put that on like that there. Yep. Right, and then we take and what's that? That's a reverse tile, dark blue. So that goes underneath like that. And then we've got the pieces that look like slippers, but in yellow. So we've got 2 of those. And they go like in there, yeah. And then we've got some side facing ball joint. Where's the other one gone? There it is. It's hiding. So right, so this adds to, right, how does this go? So that goes onto there. And then, right, so we've got 2 little 1 stud tile. So that goes on there. Another one the other side. And then we've got these little truncated right angle corner pieces in dark blue. So they go, right, they go around like that. goes on the other side. There we go. Right. So are these silvery or grey? I think they're silvery. Little silvery one studs. And they go on the side there. Another one on the other side. Right. And then is that dark blue? Yes it is. So a little 1x2. And then we've got a double grabber. That'll be for the connect the chest plate too. So that goes on there. And then got the little overhang pieces. So we can connect a stud to the side. So that goes on one side there. And then another on the other side. There we go. And then we got a printed piece to go on the top. So we've got the X symbol on his belt buckle. So that goes on like that. And then that connects to the top of here, yeah? So like that. So that forms the front of the bottom of the torso. So what do we do now? Okay. So we've got these curved pieces and they go either side on like that, yeah? There we go. Right. And then the same the other side. So that continues the red all the way round. Cool. Right. So now we do the chest piece, and we've got the X-Man symbol. So that goes on there like that, and then that clips into place. There we go, and that goes flush to the back of those where the little one studs are. So there we go. Right. Let's put his claws out of the way. Oh, hang on. Might have to put them all the way down. There we go. Cool. Right, onto legs and arms, I presume. Right. So we've got a reverse curve. And little one brick. And then we have a ball joint and a ball. So that goes on there. And then the little if it was a gold, it'd be denoting a gold bar, because I've had other little mini sets that have got these but in gold. So they look like gold ingots. Alright, so that goes on the top. So you've got to do that twice. Okay, so get another one of them. Right, so that's those two done. So how do they fit on? They're the thighs. Okay, right. Cool. Right, so I've got a little black reverse curve, and then like a reverse overhang. So that goes on there, and then one with just the socket on, no ball on the other end. So that goes on there like that. So is that blue? Yeah, that's dark blue as well. Got to keep checking because it looks like it's black. Right, yep. And then another one of the sockets, but in the opposite direction. Right, turn it round. What's that piece? Let's have a look. See what pieces it's asking us to do. Okay, it's one of those. Right, so right. It's one of these little bits with the triangular corner. So how does that? Yeah, it's the opposite one. There we go. So we have to put that so that the triangle just goes off the edge, I think. I think that's what it's telling us to do. And then we've got the little overhang again. So that goes whoops. Right, there we go. Yeah, right. And then take another one of these ones with the corners chopped off. So that goes like that here. And then we've got a little quarter circle piece. And that goes with a circular edge facing up. So like that. Yeah? I think that's what it's saying. Right. So how does... Hang on, so it goes like that. Ooh. Right, so that's one of his lower legs. So on to the next bit, which is another reverse curve. And then like that. So it's just basically the reverse of the other bit we've just done. So that goes on there. Another dark blue 1x2. And then facing the other way. Turn it around. And we put this other bit on. Like that. And then the overhang again, and then there he is. Right, so that goes like that there, and then the quarter circle again. Just like that, there we go. Right, so onto the feet. So we've got these 2x4 with holes in, and we've got some silver 1 studs. And then we put these discs on the bottom. And then we've got the reverse tile, so that goes underneath. Turn it over, and we've got the kind of 2x2, but with the curved edged. Right, so that goes on the top there, and then we've got a circle tile with a hole in, and a 2x1 blue cheese wedge for the back. There we go. And then we put the pin into the hole. So we've got the ankle joint. Oh, oops, don't want to put it in all the way, otherwise it will limit the movability. There we go. Right, so we do that again. Right, so there's the 2 feet done. So clickety click. Right. And because this is like a first gen mech suit, like I say, we've got the posability with the legs and the arms that the mech suits that are coming out now don't have, unfortunately. Let's just hope it doesn't wobble too much and fall over, because the joints will get looser over time. So, but yeah, let's stand him. Right, so onto the arms. Alright, we've got the little ones. Got the little one, the little ball joints. So that goes, oh, whoops. Goes on like that. And then side facing one. We've got one of these, so that goes on like that. Yeah, so that goes on like that. There's a corner coming out of the end. And then a little overhang piece again. So that goes on like that. And then how's that facing? Right, and then we put that on the top. The arrow piece. Yep. Right, and then that. So how does that go? So it goes like that. And then we do the reverse. So and then that on the top. A little bit off the side. Ooh, whoops. Shot off. No worries. So, and then we turn it on its side again. And we put the other arrow piece on the top. There we go. So, like he's in a T-pose. Right, and then the forearms. So, got the reverse curve in yellow. With a little one plate. And then we've got the ones with the ball joint and the socket on. the little yellow tile on the top. Oh, there we go. And we do that again. Right, so right, okay, so they come down at a right angle. Cool. And then same again. Nice. Right. So what's left? So we've got these pieces, and these would be the hands, yeah. And then we've got these little vertical grabbers. And there'll be the fingers, or the finger joints. There we go, right, and then we've got the little sloping down 2 by 2, so that goes over like that. So we turn it over, and we put the bar, so that goes on there like that. And then we've got a ball joint, so that goes right angle, and then a little silver stud. That's fiddly. There we go. Right. And we put the little reverse disc over the top. And then we turn it round. And we've got the chunky thumb. So that goes. There we go. So we've got these little, for the stubs of the fingers. So they go. Right. So that's his right hand. And then we do the other side. So we've got the little grab rail. So that goes on there. And the vertical grabbers. And slope. Turn it over. And then the railing. And then the ball joint. And then the little silver stud. And then the reverse disc. So we put the fingers on. And the chunky thumb. He's got massive hands. And then we put all the massive claws on. So and then the other side. Make sure all the little blades are lined up. There we go. All done. Right, got a few little spares. We've got a little spare claw, just in case. So, look at them massive claws. They're like samurai swords in themselves. Wow. Ooh, whoops. There we go. It's getting ready to slash someone. Wow. I'm really happy with that, considering I got it quite cheap off eBay. But yeah. Oh, he's a bit wobbly. Let's pose him properly. There we go. So, what do you reckon? I think that's going to be one of my favourite mechs now that I've got Iron Man, War Machine, Miles Morales, Dr. Octopus. I've got 2 versions of the Spider Mech, and I've got Venom. So now this is number 8 in my Marvel Mechs collection. Excuse me. But I think this is really awesome, especially as the arms and legs are posable, whereas all the other mechs don't have that posability. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think, whether you'd buy it yourself. But yeah, I think I only paid about £12 odd, including postage. So the mech itself was about £8.50. But yeah, I really, really like this. So leave us a comment, leave us a like, maybe even subscribe. But yes, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.